Coming to Grand Rapids, Michigan on September 21st and 22nd is GrandCon Gaming and Comics Convention, presented by Celebration Cinemas. Join us in playing or chatting it up with fellow enthusiasts in a community that understands your passions. Get lost in the adventure of your favorite role-playing game. Admire costumes and art from vendors and attendees. Meet the creators behind your favorite mainstream and independent games and comic books. Check out unpublished games and sneak peek at things to come. You can get all this and more at GrandCon. For more information, please visit www.grand-con.com.
This week on Off the Cuff, we actually have a couple Twitter questions. Yay.
Wait, really?
Yep.
Yeah.
We got two of them. I mean,
shocked. I'm kind of scared. I don't know what to do.
Probably cover them pretty quickly. Welcome to Off the Cuff, episode 22. I am your host, as always, Michael Powers. I am joined this week by Art Danner.
Hello.
And by Sean Z. Brown.
Yay.
We traded
Still
Joe for Sean.
Yeah, it is.
We traded Joe for Sean this week.
Upgrade.
So
hello.
prepare for diminished quality.
Fuck you.
Actually, no. Joe is on a family trip to Baltimore, and Shanzi just doesn't have to work tonight.
Yay.
And my dog is being a dipshit.
Well, he learned it from his master.
So how's everyone doing?
Fantastic.
You sound so thrilled.
Work was terrible today. Work was truly terrible.
Do you want a hug and a foot rub?
Well, I got yelled at by some douche nozzle who's a presenter because he was upset about the audio quality. Which, don't get me wrong, the guys I work with did not use the smarts that God gave them when they were setting their speaker package today. So, but
so you're
that's
saying
okay.
is the guy was mad because the audio quality was shitty, and he was rightful to be mad, but you were mad that he was yelling at you because of it.
I can't fault him for the fact that he was angry, but the other issue is I wasn't there yesterday. I took the day off, took a vacation day because I had family stuff to do. So I wasn't in a place where I could have prevented it, which I know isn't the guy's problem. But
you're the manager, dude. It's always your fault no matter what.
It was the utmost douchebaggery that followed towards me. And then the fact that he told us we are one of the 3 worst places he's ever been in his entire life as a presenter.
At least you were one of the 3 worst, not the worst.
I know.
But then you go like, hey, at least you'll always remember us.
Yeah, and then we started laughing about his FedEx Kinkoed pictures on his DVDs that he was selling there also. So I felt better afterwards mostly because of the fact that I'm not a huge tool.
Just a mediocrely sized one.
Yes. So
it
was a long, stressful, fantastic day.
Gaming.
You do need a hug and a come here, you.
Have a Coke and a smile. So, do we want to answer these Twitter questions, or do we want to talk a little bit about what we might have been playing lately?
I've actually played new stuff.
No,
yes.
There hasn't been anything new. Stop lying.
No, I've played new stuff for me.
Oh,
I played Dragon's Dogma.
Okay.
And I played State of Decay, a significant portion of it.
Tell us about Dragon's Dogma, because I
Okay.
think you've told us about State of Decay already on the podcast.
Well, I talked a little bit about State of Decay. So Dragon's Dogma. Oh, I got the Dark Arisen, yeah, Dark Arisen one, which is basically like a major expansion that came with it that comes with the original game. So it's kind. Shut up. It's kind of interesting. It's
Long awkward pause.
fuck you. It's for dramatic effect. Second.
Sorry, I got stuck on the fact that you were coming on the original game.
Yeah, hard too, just like your face last night.
Oh,
Hey, I'm back.
Glad we're not a family podcast.
Yeah, fuck those people. So it's a very interesting game. When playing it for a very weird reason, makes me feel like Shadow of the Colossus, because you fight these like giant dragons and all sorts of animals. Like you fight like a thing that's got the head of a lion, the body of a goat with a goat's head on the back, and then a snake's head for its tail.
Sounds like a
Chimera?
chimera.
It is, but I didn't know chimeras had goats.
I think chimeras are just a mixture of anything.
Yeah. But you
amalgamation of animals.
can run up to it, right? You have like a stamina bar. I can run up to it, hit the grab button, and climb all over it.
Okay.
Man,
I can walk up to the
thank
tail,
God
start hitting the tail.
it's video game stamina, not your stamina, because you'd probably be out of wind by the time it ran up.
Dude, I would shoot it with a gun. Like, none of this knife shit.
It takes a lot of stamina, doesn't it? Sitting in
Shooting
one
gun.
place and shooting things.
Pulling
I
a
wouldn't
trigger?
sit.
Absolutely.
I would do combat rolls in between shooting to make it look cool.
No, you would play it like Mike plays Call of Duty. You would just sit
No, I
in one
wouldn't.
spot and shoot.
Mike does not sit
Aw.
in one spot and shoot. He lays down. Okay,
I apologize. He lays down like he's laying down for a nap.
he's a leaf on the wind, man.
I don't want to get stabbed.
Watch as he soars.
Watch, you end up getting stabbed. Thank you for finishing that. First of all, Danner, that was fantastic. But it's actually really, really interesting. It's kind of hokey, some of the stuff, because it was a Japan game. It was made in Japan, so like you can clearly see how some of it's kind of like the wording's a little messed up.
Are you saying that
But
the
it's-
translation is bad?
No, it's not. It's done in English. It's not translated into English, so it makes sense. But they use phrases that wouldn't necessarily make sense because it's like medieval times.
Oh, okay.
Certain phraseologies.
Yes, sure, whatever.
Fantastic.
And they have this thing. It's called a pawn system. You're the main character. You have a main character, and you have what's called your main pawn. Basically, like a companion that follows you around forever, listens to you. But at any time, I can go up to this rift stone, is what they call them, and call in up to make my like 2 more pawns. Now, if you played this game, I could go in and get the pawn that you made online. I couldn't get your main character because you used the character creation thing on your character and on your main pawn. Then you can go online and people can use your main pawn if they wanted to, if you let them.
So
Hello?
Sounds
what-
thrilling.
Oh, I didn't know if you guys were still there for a second. I thought I lost you.
No, I was working with such a frenzy about this pawn system. I just couldn't contain myself and think
Yeah.
of things to say.
It's and you can choose like there's basically like the ranger type guys who uses knives and bows and arrows. There's the mages, and then there's the sword and shield guys.
So is this
And
like a
make them-
medieval Lost Planet,
Um.
or what type of game is this?
Oh, okay. It reminds me more of the Dragon Age Origins, but instead of being but with more hack and slash elements because it's strong attack, weak attack.
Okay.
But it's definitely like that, like life bars over everything. It does kind of have that weird feeling of like Lost Planet, kind of. Well, it's very interesting. I expect like you can kill like a dragon on foot if you wanted to. Like one of the first bosses you come up against too is a Hydra who's got like 6 heads. Now I'm climbing on him as he's spiraling up this like tower, wrapping around it all crazy like. I don't have to climb him. I could easily shoot him with a bow and arrow from afar, or I can climb on top of him and do crazy amounts of damage. And you can order around your pawns a little bit. Think of Mass Effect, Danner. Not with the stopping time and ordering, but you know how you could press you can tell them go here, go there, come to you, or attack with the directional arrows.
Okay.
Just like that, pretty much.
Are you playing Simpsons Tapped Out again?
I am not.
He is not. He's playing Tiny Tower or something.
I
Crush?
am not doing that either. I am checking out what Ron Perlman is saying on Twitter right now.
Oh, is he good? I've always thought about following him.
He's not bad. I like him. He's at Pearl Munitions. Mutations. Sorry, Pearl Mutations.
What the hell is that?
That's his Twitter name.
Oh, Pearl Mutation. Oh, I thought you were actually saying he was at some place called Pearl Mutations.
No, that's his Twitter handle.
I am so stupid sometimes. I'm amazed sometimes that I actually get up in time before I shit myself.
I'm amazed at the fact that you know how to turn on your laptop and do this. So
I just leave it on. I don't turn it off. If I turn it off, it's like untying my shoes. I can't figure out how to do it again.
He called the people to your house to set up the laptop, and you go, now never turn it off.
Don't you dare. I just rip off the power key.
Because guys, if the power goes off, man, I'm just going to have to call somebody out to turn it back on again.
It has a battery backup.
Yeah. Like, dear God, don't you die on me. But yeah, it's someone who likes RPGs and like those kind of old medieval monster games like that where you're fighting goblins and orcs and all that shit would totally dig this game. I'm playing on normal and I haven't really come across any parts so far that are insanely difficult.
Okay.
But it's definitely encourages you to use that climbing mechanic on top of guys. But your pawns will also automatically jump on them too if they're like a melee character. So I just got this. I was looking through the sea of pawns, picking one, and there was this little dude. Somebody had made a short guy. You're on your default human, but he made a guy to look like a dwarf. So I'm like, mine. That guy's mine. I'm taking him with me, and he keeps jumping on these things, but he's so small it takes him like an hour to climb to their heads. It's kind of funny. So yeah, I've been playing that, and like I said, I've played a lot more of State of Decay.
Now, did you buy State of Decay?
Yes.
Okay. Has it been worth your $15, or is it 20?
So far,
it's
yes.
20, isn't it?
It's 1,600 space points. So yeah,
that's $20. I don't know.
I guess they're going to be releasing a new an update in the coming months, which is supposed to be pretty cool. And it's going to include a mode that they're calling sandbox mode. That's basically...
You jump in a sandbox and then you build sandcastles?
That's exactly what it's not.
I would totally play that game.
It's called Minecraft. Go nuts.
No.
You got to use the Kinect in order to build the sandcastles.
Never
but
mind.
you just
I'm done.
can't quite grab the bucket right.
Nope.
To make those perfect turrets, and there's just not enough water to get a mixture in the sand to get the mixture of sand and the water ratio correct, so the castle will just stay perfectly. It's fucking Kinect.
You lost me at Kinect. I'm sorry, I'm not interested anymore.
That's only good for going through Netflix.
No, not even then.
You know what's good for going through Netflix?
My
PS3.
phone.
Yep.
My phone. On the Xbox?
I think you can use there's some way you can use your phone to control the Netflix on the PlayStation.
Ooh.
I think. I don't know. I've never used it.
That sounds way, way too unnecessary and way, way, way too much like something a lazy person would need to do.
Yeah, but it's fantastic. Oh, God.
That's why I figured you would like it.
Direction. It's weird.
You fat bitch.
I'm a fat bastard. Thank you. I would kindly you use my surnames correctly.
Sorry. Apologize. Fat bastard.
Thank you, sir. There.
Tons of fun.
Shut up, bitch. I am fluffy.
Apologize.
And I'm winterized. Okay, it gets cold here. When
cold
nuclear,
here.
when
Cold
nuclear
sweater.
winter hits, you little bastards are gonna be lining up to cuddle with me. Okay, so
I'm gonna
whatever.
slice you open like a tauntaun. and live
Tauntaun.
inside of you.
Yeah, go for it. Enjoy that Taco Bell double steak quesadilla.
Probably smells better than the inside of a tauntaun.
You don't know.
I think that's debatable.
Well,
Dude,
as much-
I've
I
made
was gonna
myself
say, for
have
as
to
much
leave
shit
my
as
room,
he's
so-
filled with, it probably does stink pretty bad.
Dude, to the eyebrow, to my eyeballs, man. But it's sandbox where it puts you in the same map of the regular game, takes away all the missions. You in the game you have to scavenge for supplies. The supplies are medicine, food, fuel, ammunition, and I think it's and one's actually like building materials. Like that's how you build like different sections to your base. Like I want to build a workshop or I want to build a med tent. But it's gonna throw you in there with no story, and it's like how long can you survive? And there'll be like a leaderboard.
So it's horde mode.
Kinda. But the zombies are still randomly generated like they would normally be. It's not like they're gonna send waves of zombies at you.
I guess
It's
that could be interesting.
It's basically it's playing Walking Dead, the video game.
No, it's not playing Walking Dead,
Yes.
the video game.
Yes, it is.
No, State of Decay is nothing like playing a Walking Dead video game.
No, I'm saying the sandbox mode.
No, it's not.
Why is it not?
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, there is a Walking Dead video game.
Tell me how playing a game that you've never played is not like this.
Because
Walking
I
Dead.
have played the Walking Dead video game, and it's nothing like State of Decay.
No, not the video game, not your little Telltales thing, not that game.
Are we talking
I
about
mean-
the
I mean,
the
if you
shitty
were,
Walking
like,
Dead game?
No, God,
He's
that's
talking
stupid.
about actually the
Walking Dead, like the TV show.
they have one that's
Where
called Survival
There's
Instincts.
a TV show of The Walking
I
Dead.
hope.
There is.
Listen, I really hope that State of Decay is better than Survival Instincts.
I'm not comparing it to Survival Instinct. I never said that. You did.
So it's
think
just
of
like
it-
reading
think
the
of it-
comic book.
I will stab both of you in the throat with each other's dicks.
So it's all
Okay,
black and
like-
white.
I will murder you so hard. Like, oh, I hate you.
Does the sheriff lose his hand in that one
I
too?
swear to God.
Spoilers.
And it's- oh,
Does
are
Rick go crazy and start talking on the phone and carrying the phone around with him everywhere?
Are you done talking about State of Decay?
I just.
I thought we
want
were
to
talking
say,
about Walking Dead, the comic book.
Fuck you guys so hard. Like,
You walked into that one.
yeah, backwards apparently and bent over.
Mm-hmm.
Is Carl not in the house?
Fucking rape your corpse.
What are we doing?
Like.
So, Danner.
Wait, did Shane make it to out of the first arc, or is he relentlessly in the second season for no apparent reason?
No, let's move on to what you're gonna say, Dan.
Oh my God, I'm
Please,
crossing
try to finish a
mediums.
fucking sentence
Crossing
here. In the next
mediums,
couple
aren't I?
minutes.
Oh God, my brain hurt. What's going on?
All right,
I see colors.
we're moving on from State of Decay. I think
Sorry,
it's-
John. What else have you been playing? Oh,
Now
wait,
I'm done talking. Like,
Oh, well, I'll just drop you from the Skype call then.
no, you won't.
I won't?
Because you
oh,
love me.
oh, he presumes an awful lot, sir.
Yes, he does. Let me find the window so I can drop him. Anyways, Danner, what have
Look,
you,
I'm still here. Like,
Danner, what have you been playing?
I really
with
haven't
his balls.
played. I haven't played well with my balls. I played a lot, but I haven't really played much. I had a little bit of time. I have like the last 2 weeks. I haven't played anything until probably 2 days ago, and then I started playing Deadpool again, which I've already talked exhaustingly about. Which game is-
how's the replay of that? I mean, what's the?
I haven't even
do you
gotten
gain
through
anything by
yet.
playing it again?
There's like challenge rooms and stuff like that, and there's certain things in the game that you can get. Certain things that you finish, if you finish them a certain way, you get achievements for.
Do you get to like? Is there like a new game plus? Do you get to keep all the weapons and shit you've earned?
That would require Danner to finish a game.
Yeah, that would require me to actually finish the
This
game.
coming from the Saran Wrap King over here, who doesn't even open his games.
I open them. I just put 3 hours into them and then forget about
And then
it.
stop. That he's at least trying the game. He's
I
hitting
like-
start
I like-
once it gets to the menu.
I go with what's the most interesting thing that I've played 3 hours into and then finish it. But no, it continues to be absurd, ridiculous, and fun to play. It just, like I said before, it has its issues, but because of the fact that everything else is so much fun about it, it's easily forgivable to me. But just the longer the game goes, the more unrelentlessly unforgiving it is. And that I've unlocked the size now that you move super fast with, but they do pretty much next to no damage until you build them up and unlock more things on them. So they're incredibly weak when you first get them, and the more you use them, the more you unlock upgrades for it, which makes them more powerful eventually. But
you still have to grind through using them to do that.
Yeah, but you still have to grind through using them, and I'm like pretty much 75% through the game, I think, right now. So I'm like doing it on way harder villains that I probably should be screwing around with it on. So I also unlocked the double sledgehammers.
That was
So
when I was watching videos. That looks the coolest.
Yeah, so running around with the giant mallets is fun, but once again, they don't do a ton of damage until you have gotten some kills and some combos with them and unlock the abilities to upgrade things. So it just continues to get more and more just absolutely ridiculous and bonkers throughout the entire game. So I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun. I actually picked up Retro City Rampage again today. I played a little bit of that.
Wait, why would you pick it up again?
It's because I'm stuck on a level and I continue to be stuck on the exact
I
same
figured you'd beaten
level.
that like forever.
No, I can't. I'm stuck on this.
He fucking laughed.
I am laughing.
I'm stuck. Like, for some reason, most of the Vita games I'll play through, and then I'll get to a point where I'm Guacamelee and Retro City Rampage, where I just get stuck, and I'm wondering if it might be more worth it to just transfer my saves to the PS3 and finish it on there, because I think I'm missing something control-wise.
Yeah, it's the ability to chuck your controller in frustration.
Yeah, I think that. Because I can't.
You always have that ability.
Not
I can't
with the
chuck
Vita.
my Vita because if
Yes,
I chuck
you can.
the Vita, it is game over permanently. So
It's an option.
yeah, and then I played a little bit of Silent Hill Revelations on Vita, which
No thanks.
it's. Are you a Silent Hill fan?
I am a horrible pussy, is what
Okay.
I am. Like,
Let me finish my thought then. If
you
you
really, I should let you finish your thought.
if you're a Silent Hill fan,
Please say it's like The Walking Dead.
you won't like this game.
Just like The Walking Dead.
If you like dungeon crawlers, you'll like this game because it's a top-down one-player dungeon crawler, and you just happen to fight Silent Hill creatures. That's about it.
Yay
They're-
for fighting Silent Hill creatures.
Yeah, so it's if you don't do well with horror games, this is probably one of the only Silent Hill games you would actually be able to play because it is very, very not scary. It's kind of hard to make a top-down dungeon crawler scary. Unless
see
you're a
that.
far bigger pussy than you actually are, Sean.
dude, you don't even know. Like,
Well,
yeah,
I could tell by
so yesterday, I literally
tell by your
legit would.
voice how big of a chick you are. So
He's-
get it. But
He's a mewling Quim.
The
yes, you
fuck
do.
is a mewling Quim? Speak English.
It's another way of saying blubbering vagina.
Really? You're the one that's gonna say that? Isn't that the pot calling the kettle blubbering vagina?
You're both pussies.
But we're warm.
I'm cuddly though. I'm warm and moist, so and I am what I eat, so it'll be that way.
Besides that, that's all. I haven't had a whole lot of time to play anything lately. So
Oh,
yeah.
did you see what came out on Xbox Live Marketplace? Like yesterday or today or one of those days. The first DLC for
I downloaded it.
what is it even? I'm
It's,
not even. I'm not even slightly inclined.
Hang on, that's one of the questions.
It's
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's about the other DLC, not about this DLC. The first DLC for BioShock dropped Tuesday, and it's just like it's 4 challenge maps, and it's just 15 waves of enemies per map, and they're doing ranks like between all the players. So like there's some online connectivity, but you can just kind of challenge against people on your friends list for.
So it's basically just leaderboard almost.
Yeah, but the other thing they did is they put more voxophones in there to get more of the backstory of the scientist. I can't think of her name. But it's more about
the
her
twins.
It's more about their backstory and stuff like that. So there's voxophones that drop throughout the challenge arenas. But
the only way to get them is to play those challenge arenas.
Correct. Yep. So I mean, it looks like it's more of the combat that I think was kind of lacking from the game. I think it's kind of fulfilling that need, and it's just I think it's also something just to tide us over before the meat of the DLCs drop.
Yeah. What has taken them so long with this?
We'll talk about that in a little bit.
Oh no, I mean even just this little challenge map thing. Just some kind of support for the game. Nice.
Okay. Unlike most video game companies, like Gearbox, they actually decided to finish the game that they were working on, and then make the DLC. The exact same thing that they're doing with Last of Us. They finished the game first. And then after the game went gold and went out, then they sat down and started thinking about DLC. They didn't plot out all the DLC beforehand or already have, portions of the DLC already done and ready to go by the time at launch of the game. They actually finished the game, sent it out, and then started focusing on the DLCs. And built them from the ground up without really having anything. I think they had a few ideas in mind, but not necessarily didn't have, everything plotted out that, well, this is going to happen, and this is going to happen, this is going to happen. They actually, finished the game, got it shipped, and then we're like, okay, now let's refocus on what we're going to do for DLC for these games.
Yeah. But it's just, this time span has been, I've lost interest in the game. I mean, I completely understand them focusing on one thing at a time, and I like that. Don't take away from the main thing to make add-ons. I totally respect that. But now it's passed on. I've just moved on to other things now, and it's
Have you seen the trailer for the DLC though?
I haven't even been interested to even look at it. To be honest with you.
Before we talk about the Twitter questions, we're gonna stop, and I'm gonna send you a link, and you're gonna watch it, and then you're gonna shut your damn face.
I have a phone. I can just do it right now.
I have a phone. I could just do it right now.
I will stab you in the face.
It's going to be a long-distance stab, you little bitch.
That would be worth the trip.
Okay, you two.
Not with the way you walk.
I am going to pull this podcast over and stop it right now. Anyways, have you been playing anything else besides Silent Hill and Deadpool?
Haven't really had any. I downloaded Stealth Inc. That was about as far as I got, though.
Well, I have played Stealth Inc.
Ooh.
I actually have been playing quite a bit of my Vita lately. And when I say quite a bit, I mean like 30 minutes before I go to bed every night.
Wow, you hardcore gamer, you.
Well, actually, the 3 games that I keep bouncing between on the Vita right now actually lend themselves nicely to this, like playing 30 minutes to an hour before I go to bed, which I find to be very appealing. But Stealth Inc., it's not a very good comparison. It's a lot like a Walking Dead game. No.
Is that going to be the new fucking thing? Oh, Jesus Christ.
No. It reminds me of
Fantastiballs.
It reminds me kind of like Meat Boy, Super Meat Boy. Have either of you played that?
No. I've heard you talk about it exhaustively.
It's a 2D platformer. Basically, you're trying to get a guy that's made out of meat. You're trying to save his girlfriend, and the game is just a series of challenges.
From a grinder? Please tell me the enemy is a grinder.
No, the enemy is. I could be
Is that
wrong.
Manila?
I think nope. I think it's an aborted fetus in a fish tank on top of a suit.
Oh, that's okay. I can live with
What the fuck?
Seems
I think.
reasonable.
Anyways, I could be wrong. And I apologize if I am wrong. But basically the idea behind the game is that you're supposed to get through a series of challenge maps, and you can see the entire challenge map at the same time, and you're supposed to do it as fast as you can. And when you die, and you will die, you immediately start over, and you just do it a whole bunch.
Start over from the beginning?
Yep,
Or...
you start over from the beginning, but they're short maps. They're like 30 seconds long. And you're supposed to speed run them, so you die and you start back over from the beginning. And the most rewarding thing happens when you finish the map in Super Meat Boy. When you get to the end of it, you get to see all of your playthroughs at the exact same time. So you get this like spewing of like sacks of meat like trying to bounce around the level, and they die at all the places they would have died, and then finally you see the one guy get weeded out. So if you die like 50 times in the level, you see 50 different Meat Boys bouncing around doing everything that you did. Stealth Inc. reminds me of that, except not nearly as violent. You play this little clone like guy, and you're going through like a testing facility, and you are trying to stay you're trying to keep yourself from alerting the security system, and you're trying to stay like in the shadows, hence the name Stealth Inc. And just like Super Meat Boy, it's all trial and error. The levels are short. They're all you're trying to get through them as fast as you can. So the first time you go through, you're just trying to figure out the level, and then the next time, then you immediately want to try it over again once you actually figure out how to beat the puzzle, so you can get a faster time. And then when you're done, they rank you. Ask for the best, and then you guys need to stop doing that because it's ending up on the recording.
What?
The tweets.
What?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever. So,
Wait, I have a question. How do you spell diarrhea? Like,
It should autocorrect.
I know, but it's not. It keeps
Oh.
turning it into dairy hyena, and it's really annoying.
You are a dairy hyena.
anyways, when you get through the level, you're immediately ranked
Got it.
against other people that are playing. Damn it, guys.
Oh, really? Now we're too much? Not when it's all like, oh, Shane, he's getting you.
No, I'm dead serious. Those noises are ending up on the recording.
I have mine muted, so it's all on his side.
It's all muted on my side too.
Anyways, it's because of how I have to capture the audio. So I appreciate
So
that.
it's all on you.
Anyways, when you finish, then you're ranked against other people that you've played with, and I think it goes S, A, B, C, D. You're rated on how fast you can get through, how many times you're seen, how many times you die. But I did it's set up in stages, and there's like 8 levels to a stage. Kind of like classic, Mario type stuff. I did like the first 6 in 30 minutes. It was a lot of fun. And then I started playing the other game that I'm really enjoying, which is Muramasa Rebirth on the Vita.
Yeah.
It's a remake. It's a more or less an HD remake of a Wii game. And it is similar in play and visual style to Dust and Elysian Tale, although it's not quite as cartoony as an Elysian Tale is. At first I didn't really get into it when I was playing it, because the menu systems are, when you just sit down, the menus are kind of hard to intuit and figure out what's going on. You just end up skipping a whole bunch of things. But then funny thing happened. There was a Steam summer sale, and they had Dust on there for, I think it was $7.50, so I went ahead and bought it again on my computer. And I played an hour of that, and then I went back to playing Muramasa, and I'm enjoying it a lot more, because the combat is fairly similar. It's a lot more Metroidvania than an Elysian Tale was.
Elysian Tale.
Yeah. There's you go. Basically, what you do is it's broken down into, you go into an area, and at the end of that area is some guy that you're hunting down, and it ends up being a boss fight. And so you just kind of traverse through the level, and eventually sometimes you'll come up against barriers that you have to cut down, but you might not have the right sword to cut the magic barrier. There's also like dungeons that you might not have the right sword to unlock. So there's lots of reasons to go back to places that you've been to before. And basically what you're trying to do is it's all for experience. And then once you level up, you're able to craft more powerful swords. And your character at any given point in time has access to 3 swords on her person. And then you have a whole collection of swords. Like right now I have 16 different swords. And there's a trophy for collecting all of them. So I don't think you're supposed to sell them. You just keep them all. Some of them add different status effects, different special moves, stuff like that. And the interesting thing is that there's a female character and a male character, but I guess both stories are the same. So I guess you just get to pick which gender you want to play through the story as. The other interesting thing about the game is that has not been localized. All the speech is in Japanese, and so you're reading subtitles the entire time.
Oh, okay.
But you get it's actually pretty adult. Like one of the things I sent to Danner was I was trying to search for a monk, and the main character was having a conversation with her spirit friend, and they basically says, "Why is that muff diving monk sitting in that temple?"
Jesus.
Over there? I was like,
You said that to me, and I was at work, and I lost my shit in the office. I was laughing so hard.
I was like, oh, so that's what kind of game this is. And I think what happens is I can see where the subtle differences come in if you play as the male character or the female character. Like right now, in either case, your character gets possessed by a demon that is trying to reanimate themselves. So you're playing as a possessed character. And so your actual spirit follows your body, his or her body around, like talking to the demon that's possessing it. And I was traversing in this city, and I went inside of a building, and there was a female NPC in there, and I'm playing as the female character, and I went up and I talked to her, and she was very like coarse with me. She didn't have a lot to say. She was just like, why are you in here? Blah blah blah. And so I just kind of turned around and walked away. Well, in that same city, I stumbled into a room that had a male NPC inside of it. And I walked up to him and started talking to him, and he started like hitting on me, saying like, did you come here to have fun with me? And I'm like, I want out of here. This is making me uncomfortable. So I think there's certain things in the game like that where it's like if you play as the male character and you go into the female's room, she tries to come on to you, and if you vice versa. So that kind of stuff is interesting. I don't know if I'd ever play it again as the male character, seeing as how the story is the same. There is a trophy I have noticed for beating the game in 4 hours. And I'm at 3, and I don't even think I'm that far into the game. So apparently you are capable of speed running it. I don't know if there's like a new game plus option or anything like that yet. And then the other game I just started playing, which is also conducive to this sitting down and busting out a level before
busting one out.
Yeah, I know.
Busting one out right before bed. Haha.
Yeah, haha.
That's how I fall asleep. I mean, nothing wrong with it.
I grabbed it.
It's natural.
I grabbed it yesterday after
Natural stress relief.
having to fight with my Vita for an hour. I was finally able to grab Pixel Junk Monsters HD on the Vita. And I've forgotten how much fun that game is. And it's perfect on the Vita because a level can take you about 10, 15, 20 minutes to beat. And then it's kind of like, well, all right, I'm done. I'm going to go move on and play another game. And then, of course, on the Vita, having primarily digital things, I can just switch like right over to Muramasa or something like that. I am hoping that I can talk Danner into stealing my download so that he and I can play cooperatively sometime soon. But
I just cleared out memory on my Vita, so I could probably do it tonight.
it's like less than 200 megabytes.
Yeah, well, I couldn't even do a freaking update on Escape Plan. That's how little memory I had on there.
Nice. So yeah, I don't know what happened with my Vita. It would not connect to the Wi-Fi hotspot on my phone, and I ended up having to do a system reset.
On your Vita?
Yeah, and so I had to go through all the little stupid tutorial screens all over again and register my system in order for it to connect to my iPhone. I was like, this is so dumb. Like my computer, my iPad, everything else was connecting to my iPhone just fine. But the Vita was like, your access point must be too weak. We can't see it, or something stupid. I was like, this is just, you're stupid. But finally I got it to work, and I was able to download it and play it. So glad I did. And it's 20% off right now if you're a PlayStation Plus member. So, all right. If no one has anything else, we'll take a break, and when we come back on the other side, we will have a couple of Twitter questions. Nothing? All right. See you on the other side.
The Pull Bag is the GCRN's place for everything you need in the comic book world. We focus on new and current comics, while also tackling a few back issues here and there. So join the entire GCRN crew and see what issues the hosts have with today's panels. You can find the Pull Bag on iTunes and geekcastradio.com. Make your great escape into comics.
And we're back on the other side of an ad for another network podcast, or a GrandCon ad, or something. Don't know yet.
You should read American Psycho.
Okay.
Made him laugh. That's why I'm here.
I actually put up on Twitter asking for questions for Off the Cuff, threatening that the listeners would have to listen to us talk about ourselves for another week. Apparently that's all it took for one person to respond.
Dear God, no.
We got 2 questions from Ryan Cox 20 on Twitter.
With an X, Cox with an X.
Yep. The first one is, what are your guys' thoughts on the reveal of the new BioShock DLC trailer?
And
wait a second.
I watched the trailer. I watched it. I waited till Mike started talking. I figured I didn't need to hear that anyways. So then that's when I watched it.
I think I should really just drop you from this altogether.
You don't want to, though.
Yeah, it'd be a way more informed opinion if you just drop them now.
No.
No.
You got a fresh perspective of it, though.
So far. Oh my God.
What was that? Like,
I don't know.
I like that you come with sound effects, though. Was that
So-
like you falling off a cliff? What was that?
I'm really excited about the DLC for BioShock. Like, really excited. Like, I have a huge boner right now. I'm just so excited for it.
When do you not?
It's a good point. Valid point. Because every time I hear your sultry voice, ooh, silky smooth.
I think he's talking to you, Mike.
No.
Sorry, where was I? I'm excited about the idea of the fact that you're going to get to play as Booker and Elizabeth in Rapture, and that it
Pre-shittiness Raptor.
And it takes place on New Year's Eve, right before the shittiness goes down.
Yeah.
So this is literally hours before the fall of Rapture.
Yeah.
So
So is it supposed to be like a noir? Because that's what it looked like, kind of.
yeah,
especially this little cover.
It's got that 1950s noir feel to it, and it just
Yeah, like almost like a Casablanca type of thing.
it just it looks so sexy. Oh God.
I mean, I'll probably play it because I've already bought the season pass.
Yeah,
But-
and you get to play as Booker and Elizabeth, and I think it'll be interesting to be able to play as Elizabeth. I'm wondering how. And you'll get plasmids again. Plasmids.
Real quick. Do you keep moving around the microphone, Danner? Because sometimes you sound like you're underwater, and other times you sound really clear.
He's actually swimming right now.
I am. I think I keep bobbing underneath and over top of the microphone. I'm a
He's
bob.
bobbing and weaving. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that could be the problem. So
Yep,
if you
now you
must
sound better.
good. I'll talk right into it.
Yep, that's what you're supposed to do with a microphone.
Yay, talking into microphone. Yay. I downloaded the DLC that came out on Tuesday.
The
Have not played.
what
Yeah,
was Clash in the Clouds?
Clash in the Clouds, and I haven't had a chance to play it yet.
And that was the basically horde mode you were talking about.
Yep. And no, I'm very excited for the new DLC. I'm looking
And
forward to
it's
it.
called
Yes,
what?
I agree.
Burial at Sea.
Burial at Sea, and it's part one.
Yes, have they said how many parts it is?
2.
It's only 2. Okay, because I don't know those like the fact that you could play through it and still not reach the end of that DLC story would be kind of annoying to me.
It would be like playing the Walking Dead episodes, one episode at a time, something that Mike would be incapable of doing.
Bite me.
I'm just saying, you don't need your meal brought out in courses. You want the whole thing at once.
That's what I want.
You want
I
your
want all of it at
appetizer,
once.
your dinner, and your dessert all on one plate, ready to go.
You know what? No, I like to be immersed in the story, and I can't do that if, 1 week you've got, you get to play, you play through an episode in a day, and then you have to wait 3 more weeks, 4 weeks for it maybe, and then it's like, then you get to play another one. I'm not gonna, and that's the thing. That's one of the things that I liked about playing The Walking Dead the way that we did, is that I remembered the choices that I made, so I was able to kind of play through it as like one cohesive thing, and I got my story. Like I have no desire to go back through and play The Walking Dead again, and I won't play it again before episode 2 comes, because I want my choices to have mattered. It was actually kind of an interesting experiment with the most recent Walking Dead DLC, the 400 Days. I played through it twice in like 3 hours, like back to back, and made subtle changes here and subtle changes there, and it I got to see the differences in the story. But I only did that because 400 Days, for all intents and purposes, is kind of like a contained thing. It may introduce you into characters that you're going to meet in episode 2. Not everything is clear, or in season 2, but not everything is clear about that yet. But it was interesting just being able to play through it that quick. But I don't want to. I mean, I'll buy the season pass, but I'll probably wait for all 5 episodes to come out, because it's going to be the same price anyways, no matter when you buy the season pass. It's just I don't want to have to play episode 1 before I'm going to play episode 2 again, because I want my story, my choices to have like weight. Like I want to feel the consequences. I don't want to. I feel like if
you don't want that time to pass where like you kind of like simmer down and you're not still on the edge of your seat. And
yeah, like even like the one, I finished episode 4 on a Monday, and I finished episode 5 on a Wednesday because I work a double on Tuesdays. Just that, that 24-hour span or that almost 48-hour span in play sessions, just that was enough to like change the tension at the end of episode 4 going into episode 5. Like when I stopped playing, I was on like this high, on this like kind of like adrenaline thing. I was pumped up by what was happening. I was like in it. And then it was kind of like over the next day, I got to like think about what choices I was going to make, or like what choice would I make, instead of just reacting to it like in the moment. It's kind of like it's kind of like going back and playing stuff like that. It's kind of like having like a save states, like the save anywhere things in video games. It's like, oh, I'm going to make a choice right now. I'm going to save, and then I'm going to see what happens. And then it's like, oh, I don't like that outcome, so I'm going to go back to my save, and I'm going to make the other one and see what the happens. I don't know. It's just an easier way for me to not do that, and it's more immersive for me that way. So
I get that. I mean, I get the whole it's immersive and getting everything at once and not having to wait for the next part. But I like the serialized notion of it all too. But I'm patient and I can wait for things.
I'm not saying I can't. I mean, obviously, I'm patient if I'm going to wait to play all 5 episodes at once. It just means you're not going to be able to talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
Says you.
So,
I mean, it's not like I'm gonna play. Anyways, I'll just YouTube it and spoil the end for you.
but see, I don't know. I kind of have to. I kind of agree with what Shanzi said in the first segment about the DLC. Is that I'm like,
So much time has passed. I've lost my. If that had come out like maybe, I don't know, just with all of the next gen stuff that's coming out, I'm almost not looking towards current gen stuff anymore, except for like maybe Saints 4.
yeah.
Dubstep guns.
See, it's just,
Oh my god, the Wub Wub gun.
Mm.
I'm so tempted to get the collector's edition of that just for my replica Wub Wub gun.
Well,
why don't you just focus on getting a next gen console before you buy any collector's edition things?
see, there
I
you go.
must have all the nerd.
You must have a next gen console if you want to keep playing with us.
Ooh,
You're not gonna
threats.
get. You're not gonna really. When's the last time I played with either of you?
I don't know whose fault is that. Who got flooded out of their house?
Yes, that's my fault, asshole. Yeah,
Blame,
but
blame nature.
that 5 feet of water. Yeah, that was totally my bad.
You're the one.
The
That
whole
left
being
the
homeless for
faucet
like
on
3
when the
weeks.
sink-
My bad,
You're the one that left the faucet on and the sink plugged up.
Way to be a real son of a bitch.
dude. If I'm gonna plug any kind of fixture, it's definitely the toilet. Just saying.
But yeah, I mean, the Rapture stuff sounds cool because that was honestly one of the most interesting things playing through BioShock. Not BioShock. Oh my god. SkyOshock. Nope, not SkyOshock. BioShock Infinite. Was that brief moment at the end where you end up in
Did you
Rapture
just have like a stroke?
and you play through the opening in reverse. For more or less, it's the opening in reverse. That was one of the more interesting things. So, but doesn't BioShock 2 take place right around then?
BioShock 2 takes place before BioShock 1.
Yes.
No.
No,
I thought you were playing
multiplayer-
as a prototype Big Daddy.
Yes.
Bioshock 2 takes place after Bioshock 1, but the multiplayer in Bioshock 2 takes place before Bioshock 1.
I
There it
thought
is.
you were playing the character of a prototype Big Daddy in number 2.
No, you're a Big Daddy, but you're a prototype, like an old decommissioned, I think. Big.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like pre
but it
Big Daddy
takes-
stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, but it takes place after.
Okay, so you're just like awakened after.
Yes.
Okay, that's what got me confused because I was like, I was pretty sure that you were more of an obsolete design than the other ones. Okay.
So, back to the question. You guys are just Danner's excited for it. Sean's and I are kind of meh because we think too much time has passed. What?
It looks. I like the noir aspect of it. I'm afraid the fact of it being in Rapture is going to push me away like being in Rapture in the first one. It just gives me the EBGBs just a bit too much. You know?
Well,
It makes the game not as enjoyable for me as a gamer because it's just not my thing.
how much
That's why I didn't
information
like the
is-
first one.
How much information is out there? Do we start fresh, or do you start as the character that you finished the game with? Anyone know? I
Like
haven't been following
players, like your level wise.
this. Yeah, like can you when you do the story in the DLC, do you start with Booker at the end of BioShock Infinite, or do you?
I think it's a whole nother. If plug your ears if you haven't played the game. I think it's a whole
No,
nother alternative.
everyone has played it.
Well, I would hope so at this point in time. I think it's a different. I think the storyline is going to be one of the alternate realities
Okay, so
Well, that's
that
how I took
was
it
talked
as,
about.
because
Yeah,
it's,
that's
it's
how I'm
clearly
taking
back
it.
in time.
well,
But
on that note, with you saying everybody has played BioShock, 4 million sales. That's what BioShock Infinite is at.
is that how much?
4 million.
4 million? That's
Yep.
a lot.
Seems
of people.
low.
It's better than Tomb
Um,
Raider.
Leave Tomb Raider out of this. It's suffered enough of your flack.
What?
I'm
like
sorry.
the game.
It suffered enough of Square Enix's flack.
Yeah.
Hey, it didn't beat Call of Duty, so there's no point.
I don't think anyone ever expected BioShock Infinite to beat Call of Duty. I don't think.
No,
anyone
I'm
should
saying that's
expect-
what it seems like. They're like, oh, it's not the hottest shit since sliced bread. Well, might as well not put any more money into it.
So, Sean, I got to ask you: are you going to pick up Battlefield 4, or as Mike's calling it now, Call of Duty Ghosts?
Um, Battlefield 4. Yeah. I don't know. Sure. I was planning on it.
It's okay. You're probably going to be playing on your Xbox 3 shitty, anyways.
No, I will
Oh.
not. I have it I have money down for the next gen console that I don't even have pre-order yet.
Is it an Xbox One?
No.
Oh, okay.
I told you I'm getting PS4.
Hey, we were just making sure.
I'm going. Oh God, I'm gonna. You better hope I don't ever get my hands around either of your necks. Just
One of us.
see, when Art says one of us, it's funny and cute. When you say it, I feel my butthole clamp shut like a cigar cutter.
Good.
I don't know why.
Good. That's what I want.
Oh, good. He wants a challenge.
So what other things would you want to see out of BioShock DLC? Does the arena stuff that they release interest you at all? It doesn't me.
Me?
I-
No.
I
I could not
kinda-
care less.
I think I kind of want to play it just because I want to know what it's like to. That's the one thing I didn't really get out of the game. I saw it in the preview for it, which is the fighting 3 handymen at once. I kind of want to do that just to see how utterly screwed you are. So, I mean, I think that part of it interests me, but I have a feeling I'm going to end up picking it up and playing it once, and I'll be done with it.
I would like to see something along the lines of show me play as Booker after he's made the decision and has become Comstock. Play as the villain, you know?
Yeah.
Plus, Booker has gone through tons of fights and stuff before ever, getting there. Or play as even when they switched to the parallel universe and he had died as a martyr for the cause. Play up until that point.
Yeah, give me like a Back to the Future 2 kind of thing. Let me see like another angle of the
Maybe
events.
they should do a Back to the Future 3 thing and get a flying train.
Yeah.
Hells to the yeah.
Oh god, I hate that movie.
Oh,
Don't
stop it.
It's Back to the Future. It's fantastic and everything it does.
There's
No.
everything's wonderful about Back to the Future. There's
I-
nothing bad about it.
I hate Back to the Future 3 with a passion.
Boo-hoo.
Why? Too much awesome for you to handle?
He does have an issue handling
It-
awesome.
It has cowboys.
Much like his
It
own
has
penis.
trains.
There is
It has everything.
there is no official off the cuff Twitter.
Oh,
No.
So where do people send their things to?
Me or
Nah.
Podcast Radio.
Oh God.
His wiener. His
Fine,
wiener,
whatever.
not accepting applications.
Or you can put something out there for questions and just, star. If someone asks you a question, you can just favorite it and bring it up on the show.
You can go online and, find that one girl that's at Off the Cuff and offer $1 for her Twitter handle.
Oh my God. Like that would be fantastic. She's like, make it $3.
I can make,
Sold.
make it
Too rich for
3.
my blood.
I should just change mine to the official off the cuff Twitter handle.
There you go. I'll switch mine to the real Off the Cuff.
Mine will be the unofficial off the
There
cuff.
you go. The unauthorized Off the Cuff.
Yeah. Mine's so off the cuff that it's off the cuff.
Ooh.
Well, see, now we have a little bit of a problem with the next one because Shanzi has sort of played the game.
I've only sort of played the game too.
Danner's only. I'm the only one here that's finished it.
Wait, which game?
The next question that Ryan Cox had for us was, what do you guys want to see in The Last of Us DLC? First of all,
Walking Dead.
I could not hate you. I have a rage boner that I want to skull fuck you with so hard.
Oh, those are my favorite kind.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so Shanzi, you played a little bit
Yes.
of it.
Yes, I've played enough to get like a handle on it, yeah.
What do you think of the game?
I like it, and I can already say what I would want to be for the DLC.
Do you find the game scary?
No. I of all the times that play it, I was more annoyed than I was ever scared. Because I always came up against the fucking shrieker ones. Screamers, what do they call them?
The runners.
Clickers.
The ones that have like the heads are completely
Clickers.
clickers. And I never had
Jesus
shivs. I'm like, God damn it. Because I always accidentally used the shivs. Like the button would pop up like, shiv. Oh shit, I should have saved that. Like, oh well, do.
Nah, you said do.
I always found the situations in the game more intense when you were going up against other, like the human AI. I found the
Really?
Those
parts was so uninteresting to me when it's like, oh, it's like, oh Jesus, every other game I've ever played with any kind of stealth mechanic has been like, oh, memorize their patterns, sneak out, get the ones on the outside. I've played enough Assassin's Creed to know how to do that.
I think for me it was the fact that first of all I was always trying to be stealthy, and they do have that, there's you're stalking one guy and you do see the pattern, but you're stalking one guy, so you take your eyes off of the other guys while you try to take down that one guy, and there's always that chance that you can get spotted by some guy you may not have
Use your
before.
super duper hearing ability.
Oh, I did.
That you can see everything from.
Not true.
Most. I mean, when you're facing human guys, yeah.
Not all the time. Not when it matters. I found that out the hard way a couple times. But I think it's just the fact that they had guns, so they could like shoot you from like long distance, whereas the clickers, you kind of had to engage them, like they would kind of run at you, so they'd funnel. I found the clickers to be easier to handle than the humans, other than one.
I found the complete opposite, actually.
There's one moment with the clickers where you're in the basement of a hotel that is the absolute creepiest that game gets when it comes to the clickers. That's when that was like the most intense part, fighting the clickers for me. And then the other part was the winter chapter was very intense from a human standpoint. But
Damn humans.
But did you enjoy it?
Me?
Yeah.
Who?
You.
Oh yeah, I definitely enjoyed it, but like the problem I would rather face 10 humans with guns than 5 fucking infected any day. Because I've spent the majority of my adult gaming career, I guess, whatever you want to call it.
Cowering in fear from real people?
No, shooting third-person, first-person games. And I don't know if it's just me. I was playing on normal. Maybe if I put it on hard, it would have been different. It seems like the enemies are the slowest aimers I've ever seen in my life. I'm so used to waiting for, like, as soon as an enemy pop up, him being a crack shot, not him taking forever to aim, then probably missing me with the first 2 rounds before hitting me the second or the third round.
I think that may be a normal thing.
But still, normal? That's too easy. That's too easy for normal. I always think that normal is going to be the majority of what your people are going to play. I don't go out of my way really to change a difficulty setting unless I find it either not challenging enough or too challenging.
So did you put it on hard?
I haven't had a chance to play it again. I've been, busy with the whole flooding shit.
Okay. So, Danner, how far have you gotten? Do you remember?
I do remember.
Can you share so that
just nope, that's all you get.
Okay, because I want to know how far you are, so I can ask Jonesy how far he is.
I'm not very far. I'm not very
Okay.
far at all. I got. I'm like out of the city. I just got out of the city and I'm headed to the woods, and I've come across the very first building, like a radio station or something.
Yeah,
I think
exactly where that is.
Yeah, I want to say I'm only like 4 hours into the game, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
So how far did you get, Shanzi? Well, no, I don't want. Are you past that part?
Probably not as. No, I'm not up to that part even. You don't have to worry about spoiling anything for me though, because I probably will not be going back to it. It is a cool game. I totally like it, but there's other games I'd rather be playing.
I wasn't worried about spoiling it. I was just trying to figure out how far you are without spoiling anything for Danner.
Fuck him. We don't care about him.
I care about him.
I could just
You
leave.
bitch.
That's fine. You guys can spoil it for each other, and then I could
But I want to spoil
go
you.
play the
Danner.
game right now.
Tanner, no.
Which is a lie. I'm gonna go watch Big Brother the moment I get done with this. But
Oh, so good.
Yeah. Okay. So, see, the problem is, I kind of wish more of us would have or had been farther or something, because the DLC, I want story, but at the same time I don't. I'm at this point, I just want Naughty Dog to go work on Uncharted 4.
Well,
So
I know-
you're yeah,
and I know
but your
they-
but your wants have nothing to do with that game. They all want to do with the next.
And I know from the article I read online about Naughty Dog and the DLC for Last of Us, they pretty much said that they have no plan specifically mapped out. That they were just gonna sit down and hash a story out that kind of went along with it, and they didn't really it's another one of those that they knew they wanted to do DLC, they just didn't know what they wanted to do, so they finished the game and then they sat down and started thinking DLC. Sounds like they had even less of a plan than what Ken Levine and the guys from
No,
for BioShock had.
so, this to me presents another problem, because if you don't have a plan and you're offering a season pass, then your customers are really just paying for a promise. I mean, you're not even giving them like. I just think I didn't buy the season pass for either one. I just want to say that up front, mainly because Borderlands 2 burned me. But I feel like for these companies to say, "Oh, we didn't have anything," we're thinking of everything after the fact, but yet they still offered $30 season passes for stuff that they haven't even like done. Like, basically, you're just giving them $30. I can't get behind that. It actually kind of makes me a little upset that to hear that is exactly.
So you'd
what
rather
happened with
wait
both
till
of
all
these?
the DLC is out and then basically buy the season pass as like a collection?
Yeah, I mean, or or only have them offer the season pass once they know that they have, or that they're going to offer DLC. You know what I'm saying? Like, otherwise, you've just got people throwing money at you, and I mean, yeah, I guess you're under obligation to create something, but then at that point, you're under obligation to create something, and well, look what happens. You get.
I'm not creating. I'm working at that point.
No, well,
like I'm just trying to get this done and out the door, so you don't get mad at me. Don't really care how it is.
Well, but at the other, but in the same token, you have look at like Torg or Big Game Hunter, or for a large part the Scarlet DLC. I mean, that those weren't good, but they gave them to you because you paid for them. Like I said, I wish that companies. I'm getting really tired of. I think I'm just getting tired of DLC being announced before a game even comes out. That irritates me, because it's getting to that point where it's like, okay, so what are you leaving out of your game that you're going to plan on charging me for later? At least like wait until like the game goes gold and you can't make changes, or until like it actually ships to say that there's going to be DLC. But I can't remember what game was the last game. I think it might have been Assassin's Creed or
missed
something.
you like the missing link or whatever.
What's that?
With Assassin's, I'm trying to think which Assassin's Creed it was, where it like literally left out a chunk.
That was 2.
Yeah.
But
Which now you can get for free on Xbox.
But I can't remember what the last DLC was. It was a game. It might have been Assassin's Creed 4, or it could have been, not that this game is getting much love from us here on Off the Cuff, but it could have been Arkham Origins, because they just keep piling on the crap with that game. But I don't know. Are you guys getting tired of pre-announced DLC? I mean, do you wish they'd wait? And see how the game
It
actually
depends. I kind of. I've been finding lately that I've been looking into when they say it more, because some studios are actually, I'm assuming, to combat what you're thinking, going like these people work on the DLC have nothing to do. This is a completely separate team working on it. We're not pulling away from the main game for this. We're not taking anything out of the main game. Like, as shitty as the DLC was for Assassin's Creed 4, It was
You mean
it was
3?
yeah, 3. I'm sorry, not 4. Sorry. I always think Revelations is 3. Assassin's Creed 3. That it was completely separate and completely different. Had nothing to do with the original game. So that was interesting and new, even though it sucked.
Well, that stuff is
I
fine.
still respected it.
Like I don't know. I pretty much said my piece. Danner, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I think I would really like to see kind of like maybe a separate story for it, kind of contained in the world. Maybe kind of from a different angle, or maybe from characters that you meet along the way. Or
yeah,
maybe you could wake up in a hospital like a few months into the infection, and then leave the hospital and then discover what's going on, and then you track down your family and go to Atlanta, and then when you
ride
get to
a
Atlanta,
horse.
you ride a horse, and then you get
And then you
saved
get
by
stuck
some
in a tank.
Asian guy, and he leads you to your family, and then you find out that your wife's been screwing your best friend, and then you have your son kill him in the middle of the woods, and then
Danner,
you go carrying.
Danner,
Yes?
I'm going to stop you
Yes.
right here.
Okay,
This sounds like a fantastic idea. I think they should do this.
I
It
agree.
sounds very original. I've never seen anything like this before. Let's do it.
Okay,
And
let's go talk. Let's get the Naughty Dog guys on the phone right now.
And
let's
do
just
it. I got a better idea.
tweet them.
I got the icing on the cake. Let's do it in black and white.
Yes, let's do it all in black and white. But we could sell. Wait. We do 2 different versions. We do the black and the white version, and we do the color version, and then we charge $10 a piece for each version of the DLC. It's stellar.
But the color version will only play if you've already purchased the black and white version.
No, the color version will only play if you've purchased. You automatically get that with your season pass. You got to pay for the black and white version separately.
Oh man, I'm totally sold. I want this. I need this inside me now. Like I want them to do this over Uncharted 4.
Like a hot coffee enema, you just need it inside you.
And you know what? Sucker Punch needs to help them get it done faster.
Yes, they need to put coal in it.
Yes. And I'm pretty sure Gearbox should do all the marketing.
They should have the guys that worked on Aliens Colonial Marines. do it.
God.
Who didn't work on that game?
No, you mean the one dude? I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
his name was Bob.
Bob.
Actually, it was probably like Rob Bob or something. So it was
Bob.
a hyphenated name for sure.
Bobby Jet of Hydra.
Bobby Joe.
No, but going back to the question, I think I agree with Danner. Before he went off on his tangent, I do think it'd be interesting to see.
I like the. I guess my thing is with.
I want to see it from the perspective of the brother.
With the DLC packs and the season passes, I almost like the idea of them finishing the game and then saying, "Okay, we promise you we're going to do this many DLCs. We'll offer you a deal if you invest in us now, or you can buy them as they come out." And then have the DLCs come out 3 to 6 months after the game comes out, of all new original content that they worked on specifically after the game went gold. To me, I like that idea better than them finishing a bunch of content for a game and then holding off on it, and half of it already being encoded in the game they've already sold you, but then it unlocks once you get a code.
Well,
It's like day one codes. I fucking hate day one codes. I know why they're there and why they do it, to kind of cut down on used sales, but I think it's ridiculous.
Well, I agree with what you're saying though, but I think that I don't think they should announce season passes with nothing on the drawing board.
I agree, because who's to say the game's not going to sell worth shit?
Yeah.
And then, somebody mishandles the entire company, and then the entire company folds under, and then the entire state of Maryland has to pay for it.
Oh, that's Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, sorry. The entire state
Those
of
are
Rhode
the
Island
same
has to pay
states.
for it. They all look the same to me over there. All those coastal states all look exactly the same, and all the people look exactly the same.
I
Thanks.
mean,
Just wet.
awesome and
Just
sexy.
a little wetter.
Thanks, asshat.
No problem.
You're not coastal.
You
I
aren't.
was born there.
Where were you born?
Maryland.
That kind
Were
of
you
explains
really?
a few things.
Mhm.
Oh.
No, sorry. I was born in Virginia.
What? Are you
I grew
fucking
up-
retarded?
no,
like,
I grew up in Virginia. I grew up in Maryland, but I was born in Richmond, Virginia.
Oh, the things I never knew.
yeah, and never cared about.
But yeah, I would like to
I
see.
care when it comes to everything about Mike. It's you I don't give a shit about.
You love me.
I
I just think remember a text I got several weeks ago where you just texted me out of the blue to say that you missed me.
I was drunk.
I don't care. That's when your inhibitions lower and your true feelings come out. You're drunk on Sean.
Are you a woman?
And your essence.
Am I? Yeah, well, that's what you call it. But I mean, it's hard to swallow it and say that at the same time. It's like,
Wow.
it's a sound of love right there. What were you saying?
Nothing.
But like, anyways, but I would really like to see, like, from what I've played of Last of Us, DLC playing from the perspective of the brother, picking up like him driving over to their house
You just
and
want to
picking
see
up
that
right
part?
there.
That'd be kind of boring.
Well, no. I mean, that's where the game picks up, but you're playing from the perspective of the brother, so you're seeing the chaos going into go on his way there. Then you have to protect them, and then you go off and join the rebels or whatever they're called, the Fireflies.
Let me tell you, that'd be a really short story.
Why?
See, doesn't make it very long.
Yeah, but but your story is Joel skips forward a long period of time. Don't skip forward that time. Go play through those years.
I think you should play as a person who gets infected throughout the entire stages of their life until they become a clicker,
That
and
would
they
be-
get
just
and
go
they
like
get killed by
slow with it.
Joel.
that would be all of about 4 hours.
The DLC. It's not a game. It's not a real game.
But he'll like what you play it in like real time.
No. Yes.
That would be so boring.
Oh man, my arm really itches. You guys hear that clicking noise?
All right. Anyone else have anything they want to add?
I do, but you'd make fun of me.
Is it
Most
about-
likely.
Is it about The Walking Dead?
It is actually like I just heard an interesting fact and you talking openings to that. Just reminded me of it.
What is it?
Does Carl need to get back in the house?
No, shut up. It's just something I happened to hear that I thought was really interesting about the TV show.
It's about the governor losing an eye. and
No,
his limbs?
no. The way the second season they want the guy, one of the main guys wanted to start, and they told him no, and he walked away from the show. Back when all the showrunners were leaving.
Which they've left after every season. So okay.
Yeah, but I mean, like, but I mean, it was before season 2 started, so that was when the first like group left. You know how he's in the tank, and there's the soldier in the tank that he ends up having to shoot.
Yeah.
Season 2 opened up with that guy, that soldier, as the main character, heading into Atlanta. And the story of how he got in the tank, what happened, which I just thought was really cool. And now Danner's gonna go off with some stupid rant. Man, you're fucking Shane. Why'd you shave your head, Shane?
I'm trying to still figure out why the fuck Shane was in season 2, but whatever.
Oh my god!
Hey, it's not what happened in the comic book.
A lot of things that happened in the comic book didn't happen.
After the
Awesome things happen in the comic book. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell's going on in the TV series because that bullshit ending to season 3 was bullshit. Exactly bullshit.
Take them completely separate from each other.
Rainbow farting pony bullshit.
Okay, after
I take them as two separate things.
I gave up on the Walking Dead TV show being anything like the comic after it got Resident Evil-y at the end of the first season. So,
well, I tried to block out the finale of season 1 and just don't admit the fact that it was there.
You know, but the Red Queen.
Stop.
Oh, when he says stop, you have to stop? Bullshit. Racism up in here. It's because I'm black, isn't it?
What? Since when?
What?
Anyways.
I'm sorry? What are you talking
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. If you want to get in touch with us, you can comment on our parent site at geekcastradio.com or send emails to us at feedback@geekcastradio.com. Just put the show title in the subject line and the email will get routed to us to read on the air. You can find myself, Michael Powers, on Twitter, Xbox Live, and PlayStation Network with the handle at BoothNinja81. Danner?
You can find me at Art Danner on Twitter, and you can find me at X51 the Machine Man on PlayStation Network.
Shawnzy?
As always, I've been Shawnzy Brown. You can find me on Xbox Live at Weapon87. You can find me on Twitter at Shawnzy Brown. You can find me in Art Danner's mouth. Sound of love right there.
Wow. I think I'll just end the show right there.
That's a perfect place.
Doesn't even know where to go from there because we
Okay.
raised the bar so high.